We are talking about dentures with Mark and Peter from Abbey Dental this afternoon. So some really super quick questions first of all, Mark.
Cool.
What are dentures made of?
Right, they're either made of acrylic, which is a hard plastic, or they will be made of a metal base, which will be cobalt chrome, which will then have acrylic plastic, a sort of pink, because that's the plastic that gives it this pink gum colour over the top. And the teeth are usually made of acrylic as well, slightly different because obviously they're white. And they used to be made of porcelain, stone, bone, all sorts of things. But nowadays it'll be acrylic or metal.
Do you have to wait before you get dentures? So do you have to put up with having no teeth for a while?
No, you can have what we call an immediate or an intermediate denture. So if someone has a problem with a tooth that we know we can't save, what we'll do there is we'll do impressions. The lab will make us a immediate denture which will just fit that area. Now the problem with that is we call them intermediates because the tooth's still there, so it's very difficult to get a really accurate impression because you've still got a tooth in the way. But we'll get as close as we possibly can. The patient comes in, we take the tooth out and we fit the denture straight away and then adjust around it. But the fit for those can be great one day, and then a week later they can start to work loose as you start to heal up and as your gums shrink.
And so that's what I was going to ask, actually, speaking of the fit, because as you do get older, your gums do change, don't they? So presumably you have to have them either refitted or remade even.
Yeah, we can do a reline. So the most important thing, teeth are important, is that we all know that. Teeth support the bone and the bone supports the teeth. The two work together. So if you lose a tooth in your 30s, that bone is no longer stimulated, it's no longer needed. The bone sort of sits and says, well, I've got no tooth to hold on to, so fine. So sadly the bone shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. So over a period, sometimes it can be quite quick. By that I mean a year. Sometimes it can be 10 years, 20 years, but the bone gradually starts to shrink. And it doesn't just shrink as in height up and down, it shrinks up and down, it shrinks left and right, and it also loses bone density. So the bone becomes less and less dense and less strong. So it actually becomes harder and harder and harder to get a denture and to get implants as well, because with an implant, you need loads and loads of bone. So the best time to put an implant in is shortly after you've taken the tooth out. But with a denture, you fit the denture doesn't stimulate the bone the same way that a tooth does. So over a period of time, the bone starts to shrink, you then get a gap, and you might need to fill that gap with more denture material.
Now, we will have a video on the Manx Radio Facebook page, and you can also go to the portal as well, because you have got your dad, Peter, with you. Can you talk us through his dentures? Sorry, Peter, is that all right?
Yeah, can do.
Can he or me? Sorry, yeah.
It depends which one of us. Which one, is that all right? Are you sure?
You're the expert. You're the expert.
No, not an expert. I'm just a dentist. You know? Right. So basically, he lost his teeth in his 30s. He didn't lose all his teeth. He's got them in a box at home, so he's, But the teeth in his mouth went around about the 30s. He is walking home. So what happened was he was given dentures. Now, they, as I said, don't stimulate the bone. So over a period of years and years, and it's been years and years, the bone shrunk more and more and more. So he's had new dentures to make up for that fact. So what I'm going to ask him to do is I want him to read this out for me. So if you read that, I've done it in big letters. So
that's quite all right. I didn't need me glasses. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like some thick and thin fish and chips with salt and vinegar.
Right, now as quick as you can, pop your sets out, and
excuse us.
So if there's some slurping noise, don't put them on there. Stick them in a box. I've got a box. Right, so he's putting his teeth in a sterilising solution so that nobody's infected with anything. But they
turn away from any cameras there might be as well here.
No. Now read the same thing if that's
the
right.
same thing.
Go on.
I'm going to laugh at this myself. I would like some thick and thin fish and chips with salt and vinegar.
Okay.
Give me your teeth back.
Give me your teeth back. Now I brought a cloth to wipe the microphone, but there you go. So what you can hear. I won't get him to do it again, but you can hear he can't speak. You can't say the ths and the fs and the ss. So without your teeth, just trying to speak is really difficult. Now the other thing is. We can see as he closes his mouth, he's actually smiling. There we go. But his whole face shape changes. You lose all the support down the bottom. Your face sags. Your cheeks go in. They look all sort of sunken hollow.
You can gurn like a dream, though.
And nearly, yeah.
And you can't eat apples.
So, but even your voice without your teeth, you sound older. So the whole face shape changes. You lose that support. So that can be a big confidence thing for some people. If they do lose their teeth and don't have replacement ones, everything changes.
So how do you look after the dentures then? Because
Right.
I notice you've put them in a container of some sort of solution there.
So what I've put these ones in. This is a solution of retainer bright, which we can use on dentures. We can use it on retainers for braces and things. So it's a good idea to every now and again, and by every now and again can be once a week, can be once a month if you're looking after them. It's a good idea to take your dentures out and put them in some sort of sterilising solution. Always, always, always follow the instructions. If it says put it in cold water for 10 minutes, put it in cold water for 10 minutes. Not hot water, not an hour. Follow the instructions, because you can damage the plastic. And what we sometimes see as dentists, if someone puts their dentures in hot water, the plastic becomes very brittle and it also goes white, so you lose all the pinkness and it's literally like they're bleached. But that's a sort of an every now and again thing to keep them clean. On a daily basis, and I mean 2 or 3 times a day, when you've eaten something, it's a good idea, take your dentures out. If you've got a toothbrush, great. You can get denture brushes which are slightly stiffer, and then you want to just clean all the surfaces of the dentures just with the toothbrush, as if you're cleaning your own teeth.
Not with
but you
anything
can
on
take them
it.
out.
Or...
Now, what I would recommend is that you use soap, not toothpaste. Okay. The reason for that is soap is not designed to be abrasive. Toothpaste is slightly abrasive because when we're cleaning our teeth, then you want something that's going to take all the gubbins and all the stains and the food off our teeth. But that's where we were saying before about don't scrub too hard because it's abrasive and it can actually damage the teeth. With a denture, because the denture is a polished plastic, if you use toothpaste, the abrasive particles in the toothpaste will slowly start to scratch the denture. And it goes from being shiny, you get a dull surface to it. The duller it gets, the rougher it gets, and the more bacteria from your mouth can then sit and live in the plastic. Yeah. So that can then cause problems. You can get a denture that smells, so you get bad breath. You can get a denture that actually contains fungal particles, fungi. So the same way you can get athlete's foot on your feet, you can get kind of athlete's foot, but it's in the mouth. So you can get fungal infections in the mouth, and they call that
your toes.
Yeah, they call that denture hyperplasia. Can you have it back? Yeah, you can have that one back.
Mark, give him
We
his
are
teeth
talking
back.
about dentures with Mark and Peter this afternoon.